Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Friendo Club. You guys seem to enjoy the worst Royal Rumble video that we did here at Friendo Club. So today we're going to book the surprise Rumble. Surprise, motherfucker. It's all going to be people coming out of the entrance saying, surprise, motherfucker. The old Dexter meme. Anyways, so yeah, this is the surprise one because here's the thing, dude. Given WWE's relationships with other companies now, including both TNA and Noah, given that there's people who've been gone for a long time, more prominent names in TNA now, it's entirely possible that if they wanted to, they could book realistically an all-surprise Rumble. Now, unfortunately, several people have already declared that would not be a surprise, but that'd be fun today to book an all-surprise Rumble, Larson.
Yeah, so I literally have a list of 33 names.
Oh, my God.
Not a single person on here is a current active member of the full-time roster. Not to say there's not full-time roster members who are currently injured. That's the case here. I got a few names, but even if you take those out of the mix, close to 30 names that could be surprise entrants that aren't active currently on the main roster now.
I did a video last night on WrestleJuice, real low effort deal, where
those are the best kind of videos.
I know, because I do pretty well usually. Much better than when you sit there sweating away at editing. But I made the point, Larson, that there's at least like 30 names actively on the programming every single week on Raw and SmackDown that are very, very long shots to make it in the Rumble. Basically, the tag division will be frozen out this year.
Yeah.
Mid-carders like Ludwig Kaiser and Andrade probably going to get frozen out this year. Be interesting to see what Triple H does, but it's more interesting to see what Steven Larson do. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Last time I got the number one pick. This time you get the number one.
All right, so when I think Royal Rumbles, when I think generating excitement for the fans in attendance, there's one song and one wrestler that comes to mind. It's a familiar one to everybody out there.
Does it go like this? I'm a man with the plan.
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
It goes like this. Here comes the money! Shane O'Mac at number one.
In terms of theme songs that start off with an iconic line, phrase, what have you, here's a guy that I actually, when I really gave it some thought, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing him back in WWE, if it's just the Rumble or even on a run to see what this iteration of creative could do with the guy. Because there's been times in his career when I've been a big fan, and there's been times in his career I'm like, golly, this guy has not changed his shtick at all.
I know who you're talking about.
I'm here to show the world. Yeah. I'm here to
and
show
here's
the
the
world.
best thing. If he comes in at 2, that's about an hour where he can spend the entire match doing what? Skinning the cat, which is what Dolph did in every Rumble he was ever in.
Of course, I'm talking about Dolph Ziggler. I'm sure if he were to come, it's going to be interesting if he does come back, if he's going to be Dolph or he's going to be Nick Nemeth. I suspect he'll be Dolph because he's coming through the WWE vortex.
But at the same time, he'll be See, here's the issue though. If they bill him as Dolph, people think, "Oh, Dolph's back at WWE." It's not the case. He signed
that's a good point.
He signed with TNA. Therefore, I think he will be, in fact, Nick Nemeth.
That could be. You could be right. That could be the ultimate signifier there. It'd be interesting to see how they deal with that. Go ahead with your next one, though.
Number 3, this dude's been trying to get back at WWE for a while. He completely reinvented himself out on the independents.
Oh, damn. He's my next name. Damn you.
I'd actually be kind of surprised. Well, actually, I would be kind of surprised if he's in the Rumble. Because oddly enough, WWE seems to have little interest in bringing him back, even though he really wants to come back. His wife is the U.S. champion. I'm talking about Matt Cardona.
Yeah, again, another good litmus test to determine, hey, I wonder how they would handle a return like that. Would they give him the Zack Ryder name? Would they have the Matt Cardona name on him? Do you want a little bit of both with the name value of a Zack Ryder, but, keeping that same character he's got on the indies? Be interested to see how they would approach that. Now, my next name here is no surprise, I don't think, to anybody who's been paying attention to anything we've said or anything that's been going on in the past 12 months, specifically in NXT. Now, I know it would take a little bit of finagling with the schedule, but I find it difficult to believe that TNA champion Joe Hendry isn't going to be in the Royal Rumble. This is a surprise I actually think is going to happen at the Rumble.
1,000%, 1,000%. And it's a smart call to get Hendry in there early, especially so close after Nick Nemeth got in the match, who he just defeated for that TNA title. I didn't watch TNA Impact Wrestling this week, but my understanding is that a certain wrestler, retired wrestler, maybe soon to return wrestler, was involved in helping Joe Hendry successfully retain that TNA title. JBL.
Oh, well, yeah, he was just on Raw last week. So, yeah, I could see that.
We're telling TNA stories here in the WWE Royal Rumble. Look at this.
JBL, that would not shock me to see JBL in the Rumble. Here's a guy that we recently saw pop up in ECW's arena of old when NXT visited there. No, I'm not talking about Bully Ray. But
I was about to write Bully Ray's name.
It wouldn't shock me to see. No, this guy is on my Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. I can't forget the time me and Jeff had that apartment in LA, and we were like, oh, this channel has ECW, and we got to see our first RVD teaming up with Sabu back then match. RVD. Wouldn't shock me to see him in the Rumble. It'd be a big surprise.
It would be a huge surprise. Since you didn't put Bully Ray in there, I will. Let's get a couple of ECW originals in the ring.
You know, that dude's kept himself in good shape over the years, man.
He has. He still wrestles. I almost said he could still go, but he still wrestles.
There is a difference there. There's a difference delineation.
There. He still wrestles. He was just on NXT not long ago. Had a tag team match where he teamed with Trick Williams. Yeah, I'd actually be pretty surprised if Bully wasn't in the Rumble if they're having a lot of surprises.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, dude, this next guy, you and I often talk on the show on Going In Raw about the state. And I know there's a lot of people, because I've seen him in our comments, that are in denial about this. The state of the World Heavyweight Championship. This is a firm mid-card title. But, Larson, I think there's one big, huge return that can put this title back, establish it as a main event title, because it's never really been one. And I'm talking about a feud that was teased at Bad Blood between Gunther and Goldberg. That's right.
All right, Goldberg.
Big surprise, and I think maybe you and I wouldn't pop. A lot of people in the crowd would. Strong name value.
They probably would. I'm happy you mentioned Goldberg, because I think getting Goldberg in the ring and the person I'm saying is going to enter next.
Oh, no.
Huge dream match possibilities.
Yeah, he's on my list, too.
Potentially, when this competitor shows up, everybody chanting, "Feed me more." It's Ryback.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's not where I was going to go. But you know what I couldn't think of any better than that would be, how do I do? I'm trying to think how I can replicate his West Coast gangster rap-ish theme.
Oh, gosh.
Talking about, of course, Matt Riddle. Look, he might be signed to MLW, but I don't think WWE would care about that. Matt Riddle. Look, man, Randy Orton has asked the guy, according to Matt Riddle, when he coming back? And Matt Riddle's like, hey, I'm cool doing what I'm doing.
Like it's up to Matt Riddle.
Oh, it's not. I thought wrestlers could just show up when they wanted to show
up.
No,
it doesn't work that way, Steve.
Oh, my bad. I was hoping. But yeah, look, the dude does have a story waiting for him with Orton and with the aforementioned Goldberg, and I'm sure he can come up with something with Ryback. So yeah, Matt Riddle.
As much as I would like to have Riddle square off with Grim Reaper in the match, not going to go that direction.
Yeah.
Instead, here at number 11, I'm going to go with someone who technically wasn't eliminated from a Rumble many years ago.
Oh, wow. Where's this guy been?
I don't know.
Selling real estate?
Maybe. Even if he just comes back instantly eliminated, at least you tie up that story. I'm talking about Curtis Axel.
Right. And he comes back. Here's the thing. You don't even necessarily, we will, but you don't have to use a spot for him, because he could still be number 12 or 13, whatever he was back at that Rumble years ago that he never got eliminated from.
Yep.
Now, this guy could easily have been in the worst Royal Rumble, because very controversial figure, to say the least. Tried to come back recently. Didn't do himself much favors explaining himself. I'm talking about the Velveteen Dream.
Oh, no.
That's probably the last majorly controversial figure that I'm going to have on my list. But I thought about by the way, in the comments for our worst Rumble video, there were some amazing suggestions.
There were.
Just some absolutely amazing suggestions. And I can't believe neither of us came up with the Velveteen Dream.
So if the Dream's going to be in the match, I think it's a good time for one of his old NXT rivals to make his return to WWE. Lights go down. Candles light. Aleister Black is back.
I don't know. I think it's still pretty ambiguous, mysterious, if you will, when his actual contract runs out.
I have no idea.
Like, I looked it up last night and then doing a modicum of research for that WrestleJuice video, again, trying for low effort. And I wasn't able to ascertain exactly when it was. So he's keeping that pretty close to the vest. Maybe he's got to finish out his run in AEW as Dog.
Maybe.
Before he's written off. In any event, yeah, I could see that either happening now. I would be shocked if he didn't have a WrestleMania match of some sort.
Yeah, assuming the contract situation works out. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's talk about other AEW expiring contracts. I think this would be a great way to debut this guy. Again, have no idea what his contract is like, but the spring is coming up. Maybe the spring he'll be here as early as February 1st. I don't know the dates of spring, Larson. But Ricky Starks, next up in the Rumble. Again, no clue, no idea. I would think once that... I wonder if we'll know, or if he's going to keep that super close so that he can have a big surprise debut at the WWE.
That could be. I don't know. Next name here is someone who's gone a bit of an excursion of late. Pro Wrestling Noah. Instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Found some pretty massive success. WWE hasn't really done much with him, which is surprising because you see him outside the ring. Dude's got a ton of charisma.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Amos makes his return in the Royal Rumble.
They do the big man spot. Look, again, there's a chance that there's not going to be a Braun Strowman this year because it is so loaded with potential. Here's the funny thing is, dude, when you think about as many people as there's going to be already sort of on the roster, there's going to be a lot of names left out. One name I think that should be left out, but probably won't, but will be a surprise, but not really a surprise given that they're in Indianapolis. And this guy is, to WWE in the media realm, a really big deal. And his commentator, Pat McAfee. Nothing I really want to see. I think he's got his place in WWE as a commentator. I don't hate on him all that much. That being said, they're in Indianapolis. That's where he made his career. There's no way he's not going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah. Next up, they try to do the giant spot in the Rumble. Let's say Amos thwarts their efforts to eliminate him. He needs a moment with another giant. Perhaps the giant. I don't know his contract situation.
Wow.
Whoa! The Big Show.
It would be great if he actually came back as the WCW giant.
I know.
Man, I've seen so many clips on social media over the past year or so, just randomly they'll just pop up of the giant doing all sorts of cool shit.
Oh, yeah,
in
he's
WCW.
doing drop kicks off the top rope.
Dude, he was great back then.
Yeah, he was
awesome back then. Yeah, he was something else. Yeah, I'd love to see it. What number are we on right now?
We're at number 18, and I still have so many names on my list.
All right. Well, let's do this. This one I actually positively, I will tell you right now, this is going to happen at this year's Rumble.
Okay.
This is a surprise that people will happen. And I need your help with this because I'm going to give you the entrance theme.
Sure.
And I need you to respond in kind, Larson.
All right, I'll do my best.
That's right, Jeff Hardy. I will guarantee you, the Hardy's under contract with TNA, their partnership. We are going to get a Hardy or two in the Rumble. And if they're going to choose one, it's going to be Jeff.
It'll probably be Jeff Hardy, not Itchweed, unfortunately.
Sadly, yeah.
I don't know if this wrestler is plotting a comeback. It'd be great. He was in WWE for a little bit, but really found his greatest success in Mexico. Known to have the greatest drop kick in wrestling history.
Wow.
Mark Jindrak.
Oh, wow, yeah. Marco Corleone. Good Lord, if they want to pop Steven Larson, then that's the way. I'll fucking flip my lid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would fucking absolutely go ballistic. Just simply ballistic.
He just drop kicks a bunch of people.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I'm glad you brought up Marco Corleone because I know that back in the day, you, me, and the Enforcer used to sit there and watch Smash Zone, and at one point we all did a reaction to his dropkick compilation, and then I think he responded on Twitter or something to it.
Yep.
So that was a fun little interaction. I'm going to go with another guy that this will be a wild surprise. Nobody in the crowd will know who he is except for me and you sitting at home, and some of the friendos, I think, too. I'm talking about California independent wrestler Rob Shit. I think that would be fantastic.
All right, I think, where were we at? 21? I think now's a good time for a wrestler to return from injury. I don't believe this person's been in a Royal Rumble before. Recently injured at War Games. I can only imagine the fun that can be had by the viewing audience with him in the ring with a bunch of competitors. Hope for the return. And I'm booking it in our surprise Rumble of Tongaloa.
What did he have, like an exploded hamstring or something?
It was
like
torn bicep, I think.
Oh, man.
So he's probably going to be out quite a bit longer, but nonetheless, gosh, it'd be great to see Tongaloa.
Dude, I'd love to see that guy. I would love to see Tongaloa. One guy I really wouldn't love to see, and I could probably do without him. But, man, they keep on dropping hints and clues, or people are finding hints and clues anyways in WWE with regards to this big return. And I'm talking about Brock Lesnar. I feel like, yeah, there's the potential for some story there with Heyman being so involved in the main event scene. I have no desire to see that. I don't even know if Brock would want to come back under the current creative of Triple H, because I feel like Triple H is a man with the plan, and Brock kind of just likes to do what Brock does. So I kind of feel like his name is still mud in my opinion, but I could see WWE going the other way on that.
Yeah, I don't really want to see Brock in the Rumble or back in WWE, but if this scenario were to happen, there's one name. There's a match that Brock was supposed to have, but didn't happen. When this individual was champion, they took the title off this individual, had AJ Styles beat him for it.
Oh.
Jinder Mahal,
yeah, Survivor Series. That match should have happened. Was it 2018, I think?
Something like that.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Don't hinder the Jinder. I think people will pop big, especially for that amazing theme song of his.
Oh, heck yeah.
No, it's terrific. All right, man. Well, I was reading the other day, Larson, about, and this was a shocker to me. I'll have to double check this. I don't know if I was dreaming or if this is like misinformation, but scientists have apparently figured out quantum entanglement as it pertains to sending information.
Yeah.
Mark my words, in 30 years, it's going to be like, hey, I'll be like, whatever, a million years old. I'll be like, hey, Larson, I'm going to send this movie to you. And then I'm just going to hit a button and it's just going to appear in front of you.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. That's quantum entanglement. However, nothing says that they can't get to the point that quantum entanglement can't do the same thing for matter. Now, this guy apparently is booked for a show, I think an OTT in like Ireland, I think. Day of the Rumble. So we're going to need some quantum entanglement to get the current TNA X Division champion Moose to the Royal Rumble February 1st in Indianapolis. So quantum entanglement, you just make another Moose, you send him over to the Rumble, and he's over there in OTT, and then you could have two Mooses at the same time. And then after the Rumble, after OTT, they come back together in TNA, two Mooses.
There you go.
Then they get to fight over the TNA X Division championship.
So I'm happy you mentioned science, because I feel like iteration of this wrestler's character likes science a lot, because there's a bunch of formula and stuff in his Tron. However, a previous name he used, I think it'd be, and this name is on the alumni section on WWE.com. Talking about A-Kid. Have A-Kid show up in the Rumble.
That's good.
Be in it for a bit, get eliminated. And he shows up on NXT as Axiom, like, oh, gosh, I'm so sore. And Nathan Frazier's all, why?
That'd be so much fun. They should really play with the A-Kid thing more, but
they should.
I think it just pops you and I.
They do tease it. They do tease that Axiom's A-Kid. They've done it several times. But yes, they should do that more.
Larson, you and I, speaking of NXT UK, because you mentioned A-Kid, so I'm just thinking of NXT UK now. Obviously, that was a program that we used to do live watch-alongs for. I feel like you, me, and our audience of like 79 to 105 people that were watching with us at the time, like we were the only people who tuned into that here in the States.
Yeah.
but there was one name that really we thought was special. And I would always sort of do my impression of him to pop you. And I'm talking about Joseph Connors. So I'd love to see Joseph Connors. Nobody would react at all.
I thought you were going to mention Sam Gradwell.
There's so many great names there. Oh, man, what Tailman?
I know.
Give me Tailman.
Yeah, I thought about him. Yeah, when I was doing some research for this too. Yeah.
Well, there was some great characters.
Oh, there really was.
Just like, we don't need them anymore. Bring back NXT or bring us NXT Europe, for God's sake.
More on the topic of NXT UK. Again, it's another wrestler returning from injury. I'm not sure they're going to be ready in time for the Rumble, but whatever.
Wow.
Ilya.
Apparently he's supposed to be ready soon. I think there was a Fightful thing. It said he's going to be ready soon.
So have Ilya return in the Rumble.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Where are we at right now?
28.
I'm running low. Oh, okay, perfect.
Oh, awesome. I got plenty of names, Steve.
All right. Well, give me your best, because this next one right here, I'm kind of torn on if I want to see him at WrestleMania this year, but it's all up to him. He is the one person, Larson. We talked about this earlier with Riddle, about how somebody can't just walk into WWE and do whatever they want, just show up.
There's one person that can.
One person that can. He is, of course, the director of the board. I'm talking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Doesn't matter that he shared a drink with Cody. Nah, he can come back whenever he wants. Lay the smacketh down on all 29 other men in the Royal Rumble. And the People's Champion reigns supreme. Takes on Cody at WrestleMania.
Wow. Calling it The Rock wins. All right. Number 29. This ain't going to happen under any circumstances. But I think it'd be cool. You know, John Cena's doing it. It's not John Cena. John Cena's doing his retirement tour thing. There's another wrestler that's winding down their in-ring career. I think this is their last year of full-time competition. And I feel like this is the only real chance this person will ever have to be a WWE and maybe face off with John Cena somewhere down the line in this, assuming you pick Cena at 30, for any sort of dream match. I'm talking about Go Ace! Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Tanahashi, wow. That'd be crazy. That'd be nuts. Love to see it. I'd love to see it. A lot of people would be very confused. They'd be like, who's this very flashy-looking gentleman? Who is this rookie at 56 years old or whatever he is? No, you know what, dude? The Rumble, at some point, we are going to get a John Cena in the Rumble. So let's just imagine. Let's just take out Riddle and put in John Cena. Right?
All right. I'll make
Cena's in the Rumble. And so there is one person that I feel they need to revisit the history with John Cena, with this person. This is a guy who committed an incredibly violent, horrific act upon John Cena. He stabbed him. I'm talking about, of course, Jesus.
Jesus at 30.
He comes back, and he comes back with a knife, and then John Cena is like, you can't see me. And then Jesus is like, yeah, I can. And then stabs him. Cena's like, you gutted me.
Yeah, but somehow Cena still is in the Final Four, right?
Yeah, but The Rock wins.
So Rock, Cena, Tanahashi,
and Jesus.
And Jesus are your Final Four. There you go.
Because John Cena's like eliminate everybody. He's like, oh man, I've gotten rid of everybody. The Rock is here. He's dealing with Tanahashi, and it's like, I'm just gonna let them figure it out, and then I'm gonna eliminate one of them. Nah. Jesus comes down with a knife,
stabs
him. They should revisit Cena Carlito. He's like, hey, remember that time I had my friend stab you? That was cool.
Guess what? It's gonna happen again. Cena just looks again.
Again. Multiple times. Lo siento, John Cena. Anyways, that's going to do it for the Surprise Rumble. Goodbye.